My name is Darren McDean. I was diagnosed approximately 1980, 81. At that point I was 10 years old, and I just remember spending a lot of time in hospitals. Obviously back then there was no internet in the early 80s, so the doctors took a lot of photographs, did a lot of x-rays, and sent them to all different hospitals saying, you know, we've got this patient, do you know what's wrong with him, do you know what it's called? Yeah, I just remember my stepdad taking me into the bedroom once and saying, this is what's wrong with you, and this is what your dad died of. My dad died just before I was 1 year old of a probable aortic dissection back in 1972. Obviously, if he'd have been around, what, 14, 15 years afterwards, it would have been fixed, or possibly been fixed, yeah. And then I was referred to Liverpool, who had an ultrasound machine, and that was when they first identified the heart issue. So then I was referred by them to Harefield Hospital in London to a very famous surgeon, Sir Magdi. At 14 years old, he replaced my aortic root and repaired my aortic valve. I've got a 55 centimetre aortic, type B aortic dissection going from the arch down to the abdomen. Around 2017, 2018, I was diagnosed with needing my mitral valve repairing. So I was referred to a place in Blackpool. It was actually a hospital there, and the guy there was going to do the surgery via keyhole, you know, through the top of the chest. I woke up in intensive care, and they said they couldn't do it because he got in there and got into the aorta, and because I'd had the root replaced before, and the blood was very disturbed in flow, so he couldn't see and said it was too dangerous to actually do the surgery. Shortly afterwards, I spoke to Dr. Anne Child, who's the chairman of the trust, on the phone, and she said to speak to Dr. Ulrich Rosendahl at the Royal Brompton. He actually went for a better option in that he wasn't going to replace the mitral valve, he was going to repair it. And my aortic root that had been replaced, a small dissection had appeared around that, so he decided to replace that with the gel weave and repair my aortic valve for the second time, 35 years after Magdi had done it. So I was really quite impressed with that. I spent 48 hours in an induced coma. I had a couple of cardiac arrests during that time, and now have atrial fibrillation, but I'm here, so it turned out well. It's strange, but at the same time, they're doing more than working. They're keeping us alive. You know, the workers who are there sewing away and creating these grafts and that, it's so much more than what they're doing, and they need to understand that, you know, our community is very thankful to them. I do support the Marfan Trust. I create most of their graphic work and publications. Hobbies, I'm what they call an audiophile. It's somebody who's obviously interested in music, but likes to listen to it through relatively expensive gear, should we say. That's pretty much me, other than perhaps a bit of gardening. Actually, the gardening is, I suppose, a little bit unusual. I grew lots of palm trees, bananas. Got a little tropical oasis in the front garden. Choose the right ones and you can do that. Even in Scotland, perhaps the East Coast.